Carmelo Anthony's short tenure with the Houston Rockets officially over after a month into the 2018-19 NBA season, leaving the rest of his NBA career in doubt. Disrespected and heavily criticized every time something goes wrong with his team, Anthony's now the easy target to simply get blamed for everything. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. In his 16 NBA season, Anthony played 10 games for Houston, averaged 13.4 points, 5.4 rebounds on 40.5% shooting, and 29 minutes of action. Although his numbers aren't terrible, his play style and game simply doesn't complement today's fast-paced NBA. His most recent game on November 8th against the Thunder, arguably the worst game of his career, finished with 2 points on 1 of 11 shooting. It would be a travesty if Melo's NBA career had to end like that. He does, however, have an offer overseas with Puerto Rico, welcoming him with open arms. If he decides to finish off his professional career there, it would at least bring him joy, as the fans will cherish him, similar to how Stephon Marbury is recognized as a basketball god in China. Here are my thoughts on Carmelo Anthony's NBA career dating back to 2003 as a teenager. Selected 3rd overall by the Denver Nuggets in the loaded historic 03 draft class filled with many stars, future Hall of Famers, and multiple-time NBA champions, Melo was coming off a national title with Syracuse, carried a huge burden to his name, was often compared to LeBron James. Both came out the same draft class. Both guys were looked upon as the future alpha dogs of the NBA, had excellent rookie seasons, but unfair expectations to live up to, as James became one of the best overall players we have ever seen, while Melo is just known as a great scorer. Dwayne Wade also became a better player than Anthony, won Finals MVP before LeBron's arrival to South Beach. Chris Bosh became the 3rd option, where the Big Three won 2 titles together, leaving Anthony the odd man out. Before Melo's time with New York, being in Denver wasn't as bad. Playing in the tough Western Conference, the future seemed bright as he led the Nuggets to the playoffs his rookie season, winning 43 games as the best player on the team, compared to only 17 wins before Melo's arrival. Got bounced in the first round each of his first 4 seasons, but the teams he was going up against, the Timberwolves with a prime KG, won 58 games. The champion Spurs in both 05 and 07, lost to Elton Brand's Clippers in 06, and was swept by Kobe's Lakers in 08. After the team acquired Chauncey Billups from Detroit during the 08-09 season, he was the perfect leader Melo needed. Much like other great scorers like Vince Carter and Paul Pierce, they could be the best scorers on a championship caliber team, but are not the most gifted leaders. It wasn't until Carter played with J. Kidd while KG teamed up with Pierce to find out who the true leaders on the teams were. Carmelo was phenomenal in the 09 playoffs, put up over 27 points, almost 6 rebounds, 4 assists, nearly 2 steals, had a championship caliber team alongside Billups, a 23-year-old J.R. Smith, Nene, and Kenyon Martin, only to lose to Kobe's Lakers in a competitive 6-game series. That was his only real shot at competing for a title. Things quickly took a turn during the following season after head coach George Karl was battling throat cancer, was placed on leave of absence while seeking treatment, where it took a heavy toll on the team, going from the 2nd seed to the 4th seed, losing to Utah in the first round. Melo then shown his frustration in the 2010-2011 season after knowing Kenyon Martin, J.R. Smith, and Chauncey Billups were going to be free agents afterwards. The team wanted to get younger. Anthony wanted no part of the rebuilding process, so first-year GM Messiah Ujiri traded him to the Knicks for pretty much half the team. A huge mistake. If only he waited until free agency to sign with a team better positioned for better playoff success, his career would have been a lot different. During his 7.5 seasons with the Nuggets, Melo ended up with only 1 conference finals appearance. His buddies LeBron, Wade, and Bosh each signed a 3-year extension where they would all be free agents in the summer of 2010 with the possibility of playing together, keeping their options wide open. Anthony took a 5-year deal instead, was an all-star in 4 of his 7 seasons at the Mile High, made 4 All-NBA teams. Former head coach George Karl had plenty to say in his book Furious George, published in January 2017, talked about Melo's lack of commitment on defense, saying he had no commitment to the hard dirty work of stopping the other guy, only played one side of the ball, couldn't lead the Nuggets. coaching him meant working around his defense and compensating for his attitude. Also said he was the best offensive player he's ever coached, could have become the best defender for his position. His amazing ability to score the ball made him a star, but not a winner. Called Anthony's trade to the Knicks a sweet release for the coach and the team, like popping a blister. All those things seemed to make sense when he came to New York, where Amari Stoudemire was having an MVP type season, averaged over 26 points, 8.5 rebounds through All-Star break, was a legit top 5 MVP candidate. As soon as Carmelo arrived, Stoudemire's play and numbers dropped drastically, forcing him to take a back seat. The team had fewer opportunities to score in transition. Melo couldn't figure out how to excel playing with another star. The team finished 40-42, getting swept by the Celtics in the first round. His first full year at the Mecca started out horribly, going 8-15, with their playoff chances becoming slim to none. The game before Anthony got hurt, Jeremy Lin came out of nowhere. In a span of 9 games, averaged 25 points, over 9 assists, with the Knicks going 8-1, playing winning basketball, giving the team hope. Years later, Amari told the media Jeremy was a great guy, great teammate, he worked hard. Everybody wasn't a fan of Lin being the new star, so he didn't stay long. Although he didn't mention Anthony's name specifically, it wasn't all that surprising. After coming back from injury, he had to adjust with the ball being in Lin's hands more, which didn't fit his half-court isolation style. The team lost 8 of the next 10 games after his return, forcing coach Mike D'Antoni to quit the team, where he publicly admitted years later. Now do you see why the Rockets wanted Melo out so quickly? Was it a coincidence? I doubt it. After the firing, the Knicks hired Mike Woodson, where Lin's role changed, still put up solid numbers in New York, got bounced by Miami in the first round in 5 games. While on Team USA, Melo was asked if the Knicks would match Lin's 3-year $25 million offer. Says, "It's not up to me, it's up to the organization to say they want to match that ridiculous contract that's out there." The following season was Melo's best year of his career, winning 54 games, led the league in scoring, finished 3rd in MVP voting. A huge part of their success was their veteran leadership, acquiring 38-year-old Jason Kidd, 39-year-old Marcus Camby, 38-year-old Rasheed Wallace, and 35-year-old Kenyon Martin, all on their last legs, but the right strong-minded leaders to surround Melo. A fantastic season overall, only to lose to the Indiana Pacers in the semis in 6 games. After Kidd retired, the team brought in 36-year-old Pablo Prigioni as the replacement, with Raymond Felton heavily regressing, with their point guard position becoming an issue. With nobody outside of Anthony being able to create their own shot off the dribble, the team went 37-45. Melo made a huge mistake electing to stay with the team instead of going to Houston or Chicago, signed a 5-year contract. Half the blame on Melo's final 4 seasons on the Knicks were on the organization not giving him any help. The other half, his ego. Since he was viewed as a prime star by many, he was blamed worse. The Knicks started off 5-36 in 2014-15, went on to play 30 minutes in the All-Star game before undergoing left knee surgery, keeping him out for the remainder of the season. Having Phil Jackson run the team made everything worse, except drafting Kristaps Porzingis. Tried to implement the triangle offense that failed miserably. Made it clear when he thought Melo should move on to another team in 2017, was finally traded to the Thunder. The Nuggets meanwhile had better records than the Knicks every year Melo's been in the Big Apple, except for the 2013-14 season, despite having no All-Stars on their roster. Having a chance to redeem himself with OKC and prove his doubters wrong as part of the Big Three, his catch and shoot game would sound intriguing, as he excelled in that style during the Olympics in the past, but by then, he's lost a huge step in his game. Some nights just didn't have the legs. Averaged 16.2 points on 40% shooting, was absolutely atrocious in the playoffs against Utah, putting up less than 12 points a game on 37.5% shooting, had 3 times as many turnovers than assists. The Rockets gave Anthony a chance, but just 13 games into the season, the teams decided to give Gary Clark more minutes, parting ways with Melo, making it 2 consecutive failed fits for 2 playoff organizations. It's unfair to put all the blame on Melo for their slow start, with the team overall not playing their best. Oklahoma City's clearly a better team now this season, with their defense significantly improved, strength. Melo's defense has been the biggest decline as he ages, simply can't hide on the other side of the floor anymore, sometimes even making the average NBA role player look like he's an all-star, with teams loving to go after him every time they get the chance on mismatches, basically giving away as many points to the other team than he's scoring. Another interesting thought, when Houston begged defensive-minded Associates head coach Jeff Bzdelik to come back after retirement, they put Melo on waivers. He coached Carmelo in Denver, and the fact that Bzdelik decided to come back knowing Melo was going to be gone will lead many of us to wonder. Nevertheless, Carmelo Anthony never truly figured out how to play with other stars. He simply never adjusted, didn't condition himself at the highest level, is as gifted a scorer as there is in his prime, but didn't take the time to focus on the little things. Only won 3 total playoff series in his career so far, never overachieved, constantly underachieved and underperformed when the stage mattered most, has a disastrous 25-47 overall playoff record. As of now, with all the hate, you can't say Carmelo's overrated anymore. I wouldn't say he's underrated, but when the former 10-time All-Star can't even be an effective role player in the NBA right now, that's on him. It's very upsetting to see perhaps what the end of Carmelo Anthony's career is looking like. He deserved the blame during his Knicks days, but over the last year and a half, I totally agree he's been way too disrespected. Many people call him selfish, overrated, a ball hog, not a winning player, only cares about himself, an underachiever, but at the end of the day, he's a top 100 player all time in my opinion, will easily become a Hall of Famer. If you can't agree with that, you're just a straight hater. What do you guys think about Carmelo Anthony's career? If he wasn't in the same draft class as LeBron James, would he be looked at differently? Is this really the end of Melo's career? Where will he sign next? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball that will interest you. If you love the NBA, subscribe to my channel. More great stuff coming soon. See you next time.